Hey everybody, my name's Brad. I help people start and scale medical practices. Today I want to talk about an important topic. How the hell long does it take to get any money back when you start up a new location, new business from scratch? When should you expect to see some money back? One of my most common questions that people will ask me, and of course the answer is it depends, but let's get into the details. So I now am about to start the 5th location December 1st. And at the time of making this video, it's about a week before Halloween. How long does it take for me to start making any money? Well, we take insurance. So in a traditional fee for service, you have to know what is your payment velocity, meaning when you submit a bill, how long between you submit a bill and do you get paid? For us, it's about 21, maybe 22 days. However, the smaller you are, the faster that could be. Also, if you're a surgeon or doing procedures, the longer this is going to be. It's going to be closer to 30 days, maybe even a little bit longer. But the most important thing with all of this is it starts with the front desk. If you don't get good subscriber and insurance information on check-in and verify that their insurance is active, you're screwed. Your payment velocity is going to be absolutely horrible if you don't do that. So, okay, we're about to open location 5 in a few weeks, in about 5 or 6 weeks. And at this point in time, how do I calculate when am I going to start seeing money roll in? Well, we're paying a hell of a lot. I mean, right now, we're doing a build out. We had to pay for the credentialing, or internally I had to pay my billers and credentialers to credential this person. We have to buy exam tables. We had to buy an EKG machine. We had to buy all these things. And let's say that doc on day 1, they're not going to be completely full. We schedule 1 patient per hour in my practice so that someone doesn't get overwhelmed. Well, think about that. 8-hour day, you're only seeing 8 patients in that day. And if things go well, if the payment velocity is 21 days, meaning that you train the front desk to collect a copay and collect everything up front, the average time insurance is going to reimburse that is 21 days down the road. That is if everything goes perfectly. When you're training up a new clinic, sometimes they don't know how to take a check or a credit card correctly. Maybe they're not going to take the full balance. Maybe they're going to take $20, not knowing that's a high deductible plan. You got to take it all at once. Now that, yes, you get paid for pretty much right away. However, you may be like, well, Brad, but I thought that money hit my account right away. It did, but you still got to insure and submit that to the insurance companies to wait for them to ping it and say it's okay. What the hell am I talking about? Let's say I have a high deductible plan, which actually I do. If I go to a primary care visit and I have 2 medical problems, let's say I have high blood pressure, high cholesterol. Hi, my name's Brad. I'm here for a new patient visit. The doc talks about them, maybe adjusts my meds, gives me 2 new meds, or the same meds, but adjusts them. Level 4 visit, 99204. Let's just say that's $175. I don't know, I'm making up numbers. Let's say that's $175. I pay you $175 for that visit. That means you got that $175, right? Yes and no. Yes, you have that $175 that has hit the credit card transaction account. However, you're submitting that to the insurance company and our payment velocity is 21 days. So we have to wait for insurance to ping us back and say, yep, it's active. Yep, that was a level 4 visit. And yep, it's $175. And then your biller on the back end can close that bill out. So a lot of you guys get frustrated being like, well, I see a lot of high deductible plans. Why am I not seeing that on my biller's query right away? Because they still have to submit that to insurance companies. Insurance company has to verify that they agree that that's a level 4 visit and that's what it should be. And then you can take that off your books. Your billers can take it off your books. Your billers can say, okay, insurance pinged us back. They say, yep, it's $175 and it's 100% patient deductible. And oh, cool, you already took that patient balance. So let's then apply that to that patient balance. And in your medical record books, your EMR, then it shows up as income. So if you use like Athena or external billers, sometimes you're getting frustrated being like, wait a minute, the credit cards show like $9,000 in transactions, but my biller is only saying that we took in $5,000. This is where it's probably coming from. I could almost guarantee you this is where it's coming from. So you may think that you're getting a benefit by getting that cash up front, but you still have to wait for that payment velocity for those things to hit and be attributed to those patient lives. Why does this matter? Well, you want your books to add up. And I'm saying this because you want all those credit card transactions to be attached to the correct visit. So when your billers go through and say, yep, that was a level 4, you go and find that credit card transaction. Hopefully your EMR does this automatically and it talks to each other. And they just say, yep, that credit card transaction goes to this bill, done, zeroing it out. The problem with that is okay, why don't you just do it right away? Why wait for the insurance companies? Well, the insurance companies sometimes will say, wait a minute, Tom or Brad, in my example, Brad didn't pay his premium this month. So you know what? He doesn't have any insurance benefits. This is all out of network. This is not going to his deductible. And Brad needs to pay his freaking insurance deductible before we'll even accept this claim. So then you and your billers have a problem. You and your billers have a problem. You and your billers have to say, wait a minute, are we going to go revert this to a cash pay price, which is maybe higher or lower than what was billed from Aetna or Blue Cross, whatever insurance you have, or are we just going to write this off, or are we going to refund the patient? What are we going to do? And that's something you're going to have to work out with your biller. But that happens not extremely frequently, but that's why you make sure everything lines up. The other thing that could happen is if your notes are absolutely atrocious. Every insurance company queries about 10 charts per month, and they'll say, okay, all right, Brad, now I'm the provider in this example. I should have used someone else, but all right, Brad, let's say for United Healthcare, give us 10 charts this month. We want to audit those 10 charts to make sure that you're billing correctly. And if you fail that audit, then they do a larger audit. You fail that one, then there's a special investigation unit, an SIU. And if you get to the SIU point, then yeah, you're in trouble. They're opening a fraud investigation against you. But I say this because if you got a practice like me, where now we have 11 providers and we pay via RVU bonuses, I'm not going to give out all these RVU bonuses and then get audited and be like, whoa, your notes, one of my other providers, they suck. You got downgraded from a level 5 to a level 3, and and United recouped that money. So now I can't attribute that bonus and RVU if they build that level 5 to that provider because they got downcoded. That's then a fake bonus. It's not truly a level 5. The RVUs are a lot less than that. So if you're running a larger practice, you need to make sure that all the dollars line up, that you're accounting for these recoups. Because if you're not accounting for the recoups and in your contracts with your providers or clinicians, if you're just going off of whatever the hell they bill, you better be auditing them. You as a clinician need to go in and audit the hell out of those charts to make sure that you think that those level 5s are level 5s or those level 4s are truly level 4s. Because I guarantee you, if you fail the audit, they're going to come back and they're going to recoup an insane amount of money from you. And you can't recoup those bonuses because if your contract says that we're just going off of whatever you bill RVU-wise, and there's no clause in there about like down codings or other things, you're screwed. That money's out of your pocket as a business person. So I didn't really answer the full question. I've been rambling for a long time, but how long does it take for me to get my money back? Minimum 21 days for the money to start rolling in on the books. And then after that, remember 21 days ago, they're only seeing 1 patient per hour. If everyone shows, maybe 1 person no shows, 7 patients per day, you're not making any significant money. So usually it's the end of month number 2 is where we see things really start to grow like significantly. And then usually at month number 6 is when we see that next level of like, oh, okay, now it's up to a full billable encounter because maybe someone didn't pay their copay and got recouped. And maybe we thought it was an annual exam. It wasn't an annual, it's actually a level 4. Now we got to hunt down that bill for the level 4 because we didn't collect anything. We thought it was an annual exam. So all these like fixing the small problems behind the scenes gets capped out usually around month 6. And month 6 is usually where your feet start hitting the ground and you're like, all right, I'm on to something. The first 2 months are brutal. And then month 3 through 6, it's improving and you're finally seeing the light like 4 to 6. And then 6 and beyond, you're like, hell yeah, life is getting good. That's the way my clinic starts making profits and I start ramping up. Everyone, myself included, goes through the lighting cash on fire stage where you're like, holy crap, we spent $100,000 and we're only 3-4 weeks in and we've only made like $2,000. What the hell's going on? Am I a total failure? No, this is and can be very normal. Don't freak out yet. Make sure that they're collecting those copays. Make sure you've got some of that money sitting in the bank so that they can attribute those to the dollars later on or the patient visits later on. But this is normal. So don't freak out. If you're going down the entrepreneur route, opening a new practice, hiring a new provider, if you're starting a practice from scratch, normal. Very, very normal. What is not normal though is if the billers are having to chase down a lot of people that you have no money in the credit card account to attribute to, and your billers are like, we got to hunt down all this money, you're screwed. You're screwed because there's a good chance they're never going to pay you. And you got to collect that money up front, or you need a credit card on file. You need to go back to your standard operating procedures. I just throw this out there because I will say I've done quite a few more meetings. I met with 11 of you guys in the last week. And the big theme is, when am I going to get paid? So I threw this out there to say, like, all right, I've been saying this to y'all that I've met with recently. This is when you're going to get paid. And this is how you normally get paid. Trust the process. It will come. All right, you guys, thank you so much for listening to this one. If you want me to consult with you, I'll leave a link below. I really appreciate all the kind. I hope you all have a very good Halloween coming up at the time of making this video. It's about a week away. See y'all next time.